Hey guys, how's it going, Companion? So today I want to talk about a card, Paladin Shredder. Okay, you guys saw the title. You guys know this card is good. You guys know this card is really good. But I want to talk about this card to the fullest extent, what we can expect, and really why it's such a cool card. So GVG added a lot of OP stuff in the game, and it's kind of hard to argue which is the best card introduced. A lot of people are going to say cards like Dr. Boom, that kind of stuff, but Piloted Shredder really has made one of the biggest impacts because there wasn't really a super aggressive, super sticky 4-drop before GVG, and now there is, and it's in the form of Piloted Shredder. It's so good that, people don't even run like the improved Yetis. People don't even run mechanical Yetis over this card because you want to play decks that win more, that tempo out your opponent. And 3 health is not really that relevant if you're pushing for the lead already. So if you're playing like a mage and they play a Yeti, you play a Piloted Shredder, your Piloted Shredder attacks the Yeti and you ping it, and well, you still have something left over. It survives a board clear in the same way, and often that 3 health can really be mitigated in this way. So the creature is just awesome. In Arena, it's one of the best cards you can possibly draft. Some people even pick it over cards like Fireball because it's actually more consistent, even though it's a very high RNG element. So that's what I kind of want to talk about. I want to talk about the Death Rattle. Now, there's currently 67 2-drops. So far, out of the cards that we've seen announced from BlackRock, there are 0 additional 2-drops. But as the expansions roll out, this card, I would argue that will get better over time. Now, there is a little bit of a power creep in Hearthstone. Probably it's going to continue as it did with GVG, with Nax, because, people, Blizzard wants to sell you some packs. So there's going to be more 2-drops eventually, maybe not in BlackRock, but still, there are going to be more 2-drops, and usually you can't come up with just a vanilla 2-drop. You got to come up with something a little bit special, and if it's a little bit special, it's either going to be really good, making the Paladin Shredder already good card better because you have better options when it dies, or it makes it more interesting. And today I really want to cover that basis. So there are some cards that change the game fundamentally when Piloted Shredder dies. And this is a really cool aspect of the game. It's in fact one of the coolest aspects of the game because on one side, you're going to play Piloted Shredder because it's really powerful, but on the other, it's going to force you into situations where you might end up getting one of these big game-changing cards, and you're playing kind of like a joke deck. You're playing with cards you'd never otherwise see before. Now, this isn't exactly true for its bigger brother, the Piloted Sky Golem. There really aren't too many super funsy 4-drops as there are super funsy 2-drops. So what am I talking about? I'll give you guys some perspective here. So there's like the short-term, really hilarious 2-drops that kind of affect in the immediate turn. Namely, a lot of people like to talk about Doomsayer. Doomsayer is a really interesting card where if your opponent has a Piloted Shredder and you basically lose unless you clear his board, what you can do is kill their Piloted Shredder, and 1 time out of 67, and those odds will be worse as time goes on, as more 2-drops are introduced into the game. You have a chance of spawning a Doomsayer, and your opponent won't have a chance to react, because if you attack into their Piloted Shredder, then pass the turn, it's immediately the start of their turn, so it's immediately going to clear the board. That's kind of like a short-term effect. It changes the game drastically, but immediately. So the playstyle game doesn't change too much. And in a very similar fashion, often we see the Explosive Sheep change the game in a similar way, often in the constructed game where there's a lot of aggression, or when there's just a good fit for the card. The Piloted Sheep will make one player often very happy, similar fashion as a Doomsayer would. Now, the cards I really want to talk about that really change the game kind of in the long term, there's to the lesser degree, there's Nat Pagle. Nat Pagle used to be a card that was in just about every deck before he was nerfed. Yes, this little guy was nerfed. He basically fished up at the end of your turn, so you had a chance to fish right off the bat, and that was actually really overpowered because everybody was playing constructed decks. But because Nat Pagle can come up from your opponent's Shredder when you kill it, the end of turn being the start of turn doesn't actually make any difference. So that's why Nat Pagle is actually really good when it comes out of the Piloted Shredder, and it changes the game in a way where you don't really know what to do. You kind of have to deal with this 4 health creature, and at that stage in the game, it's kind of hard to deal with it because the game is so tempo oriented that you're almost always going to have to kill a creature instead to keep up on the board and keep your life up. So Nat Pagel's going to stick in there most of the time, is going to draw a few cards, and suddenly you're behind on cards, you're desperate, and it's something people don't really notice, but often the Nat Pagel actually pulls out a few ridiculous wins from Piloted Shredder, in fact. So it's really awesome. Now, the card that really changes the game absolutely completely is Lorewalker Cho. And this does happen often in Constructed, though in Constructed you usually have many different answers. So you can often kill Lorewalker Cho with a creature, but in Arena, when things are more varied, you're going to have many situations where Lorewalker Cho is a complete game changer. You go from playing a competitive game where you're really trying your best to win to like some squirrely ass bullshit where you have no idea what's going on. Sometimes you get it from your shredder and you have no spells and your opponent has nothing on board and he has no idea what to do because he doesn't want to give you a flame strike, he doesn't want to give you a holy nova. Or in the other case where you attack with your shredder, you get Lorewalker Cho and you're staring with your hand with 5 out of your 7 cards being spells and you have no idea what to do, so you start playing slow. You see which spells you can basically donate to your opponent. It becomes such a wild game, and because this wild scenario is introduced from a competitive one, it makes basically a situation where you have to play the funsy game even if you're tryharding, and that's really awesome. So even though the card is a little bit OP, even though I don't really like to see aggressive cards, even though I really hate to see cards you have to kill multiple times, which we keep seeing again and again and again, which makes the meta and the style of Hearthstone play much more aggressive, much more tempo-oriented than normal, this is an exception. This is a really cool card, and as tribute, I wanted to show you guys just some of the craziest moments I've had from piloted shredders in the last couple of weeks, rather than showing you guys how good it is. Yes, guys, it's a really good card. Try it out if you haven't. If you're really, really budget oriented and you craft your cards because you don't want to spend money, all that kind of stuff, this is about as much value as you're gonna get from your dust. So get a pair of these. You're gonna have fun in Arena and the rest. Enjoy the clips, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Yeah, all right. Fuck. That's good. Don't fish, please.
Blood and plunder.
Am I getting blade flurried? Wow.
Guide me.
Yeah, shamans are weak against board clear, and they're weak against rogue to begin with. So when you get board cleared by a rogue, after they get good RNG with shredders, it's looking pretty bad, man. We need a Death Lord right now. Give us a Death Lord, Bets. Come on, why don't you play one? We just had kind of weird turns because of overload and weapons and shit.
Sometimes
Let's see how to Eviscerate now. Top deck Eviscerate for 6. Alright.
elements guide me.
don't want to hex that. Another draw. So Shredder's been 4 mana, 4/3 that spawns a 0/4 that draws 2 cards, gives you 1 spell damage, probably absorbs 4 damage throughout the turn, and draws more cards. Okay. Yeah, you got shoes.
Elements guide me.
Three cards. I have no hope of winning this game. Fucking Pagel. I have no life gain, so I mean, I don't know, I'm gonna have to like draw a sticky earth elemental and him not having an answer throughout the whole game or something like that for me to win. Seems like a poor attack. Oh, look at that. Alright.
Like a fuse.
Yeah, them shoes. No! 4 cards! That's so unfair. He has Assassinate. And he has an oil. Fucking Pagel's gonna kill me, dude. Are you kidding me? Damn.
Job done. Drink with me, friend. Reporting for duty. Challenge accepted. The damned stand ready. Challenge accepted. A battle. Reporting
We
for
must
duty.
cleanse the sun well.
The battle.
Push forward.
The battle.
They'll never know what
Squire, attend me.
Ready, sir.
Behold the might of Stormwind.
Push forward.
this one's
The battle.
for a little while. I pack a big punch. This one's mine.
The battle. Reporting for duty. The battle!
This one's mine.
The battle!
Special delivery!
In the light's name.
The battle! For justice! Reporting for
This
duty.
one's mine.
The battle!
You have been.
Here we go.
Spider tank. Mana worm.
I wonder.
So useful, man.
Time runs out on me.
Guess I can't even play sprint. Guess I'm fucked. What a bummer. Yeah, let me just go ahead and play that. Actually, I'm gonna play that. There.
Here we go.
Job done.
This is a pretty one-sided RNG game.
Well played.
And he top deck a fireball anyway.
Troxor! Troxor!
Only spell draws from now on, boys.
Here we go.
Job done.
Well played.
So unlucky. Oh boy. Lorewalker, Lorewalker. Why you do this?